Hey guys, it's been a few weeks. Did you miss me? Haven't been around anywhere near as much, and honestly, I used to always get pissed off at times when, even before YouTubers were doing it, when other celebrities would like retire or like take a few years off from music or something and whatever, off from acting. But now I get it. Sometimes life just gets you busy and you need a break. So I haven't been doing YouTube, but a lot of things have been going on, so this is gonna be, it might be a long Rants and Rambles, but I've got some pizza reheating in the oven, so let's try to keep this as short as possible so I don't burn my shit. First of all, I actually got something I did not expect on the way home from work. You know, it's this drunk guy stopped me, and you know, he was just talking about a lot of stuff. One of the first things he said was something about going to work. You know, a lot of his words were slurred. I didn't understand them, but like, you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're drunk off your ass telling me you gotta go to work. So something is just so wrong here. But, you know, what, so I ignored most of what he said, just be like, yep. Yeah. And then, you know, someone from work, someone that I know from my job, they came, saw my situation, so they came over, bailed me out, was like, hey, if you want to ride, I'm leaving now, so you gotta go. And I was like, alright, sorry man, I gotta go, I'll catch you later. But before I left, he pulled out a box and he handed me this. When he first called out to me, my instinct was to ignore him, but you know, I had my headphones on, I was listening to music, and so I wanted to just pretend I didn't hear him, but you know, he's yelling at me, waving at me from across the street, and so I'm just like, what is it? You know, drunk old guy, 1 in the morning, just wants to have a conversation, so I'm like, whatever, it's not gonna kill me. And just after 10 minutes of pretending to listen to him, I get a Pokeball. So I feel like I win. I think I made the right choice. And but yeah, and the music I was listening to, by the way, Kamikaze, because when that album was just straight fire, especially Fall, and what was the one with what's his name? Hold on, I can pull it up. I'm looking at it right now with Joyner, fucking what's his name? But yeah, oh yeah, Lucky You. Oh, Stepping Stone, Not Alike. Fuck yeah. Venom's alright. Like, this whole album is just straight fire. And I know there's been some controversy, but let me just say for the record, like I've listened, Eminem dropped his first album, well, his first label album when I was like 9. He did some underground stuff before that, but long story short, I've been a huge fan of Eminem for more than 2/3 of my life. There's very little chance of you ever hearing me say a single negative thing about him. So no matter what he does, even if I know he's wrong, I'm still probably going to take his side. Partly because I am such a huge fan, and partly because I know what happens when you say something to piss him off. Case in point, Kamikaze. First of all, I loved Revival. I didn't know that there were people who hated it, but apparently a lot of people did. And it pissed him off. But like, honestly, I thought Revival was his best album ever, and I love the honesty of it. But you know what? I've always loved the zaniness of Eminem, the wacky crazy cadoodle. I love the honesty of Marshall Mathers, but the angry, pissed off Slim Shady has probably always been my favorite. And I wish more people would stop beef with him. And I think, honestly, the only concern I have about this album is that you kind of, you know, with the, like, in stories you see kind of the hero's journey, where they reach a point where they start regressing into their old self, and they start alienating people. So that's my only concern. I'm worried that Em is backing himself into a corner, pushing too many people away, and getting ready to start a fucking war. And so, like, I'm legitimately concerned about him. I hope he's okay. I hope he's got an easy life. And I hope people know not to fuck with him too much. Just let him have his mood swings. But I kind of feel like as many people as he went after, as much as he said, there might be some retaliation from a few people. But, I mean, we'll just see what happens. Like I said, I'm on M's side. I'm always gonna be on M's side. But yeah, just if you haven't heard the album, just listen to it. All the things people say about him dropping the F word, which honestly, that's just Eminem. He uses that like a Valley Girl uses the word like. Like, oh my god, like I literally can't even, like, totally dying here, like, for real. And secondly, like, honestly, anytime Eminem releases an album, I'm shocked if he doesn't get sued. So Kamikaze is entirely on brand for him. It's just that we have a lot more sensitive people making a lot more noise than usual. But I love it. I love everything about this. You know, I actually don't hate my job anymore. It's weird, because I talk about Jose a lot on this channel. He quit in spring, and I had no idea, like, it would be this much better without him. I mean, I always knew it would be, but, like, I wasn't even, like, honestly, the day he left, like, 50% of the things that go wrong on a daily basis never happened again. They stopped immediately and just have not happened once since he's left. And his absence alone makes me not hate my job anymore. Not even gonna joke with you. If he was still there, I probably would have quit last month and already released my book. But, like right now, just him being gone, I no longer hate my job. Like, for one thing, I've been here 3 years. My body's used to it. Mentally, I know what I have to do. Like, I go into it prepared. We had restaurant week, the busiest 2 weeks of the year. Like, I show up a little bit early, ready to go, and I'm just on top of my game all day. Like, was my body hurting? Yeah, it wore me out some, but I handled my shit. It's amazing how not having to deal with a complete and total asshole makes your life a lot happier. I smell my pizza, so I'm gonna get to some points. So yeah, the book has been delayed, comic book has been delayed, but they're almost done. And honestly, part of the delays is that one, like, I no longer feel the desperate need to leave my job immediately. I would still like to leave the job. I want to get out of there. I've already been there 3 years, which is the longest I've ever had any job. But I don't feel like, oh, if I don't get out of there in next month, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I don't feel like that. So, like, I can survive there for a little bit longer. And I think the main thing is just, I want to do this right. Like, there's a whole world out there that I'm on this one website I found called absoluteright.com, and actually there are a bunch of others I'm going to check out this weekend, where just, you know, writers connecting to each other. Some of them published authors, some of them just getting started, much like myself. I'm just introducing myself to a lot of people, playing a lot of different games and stuff. You know, trying to get to know people, because the more people you know before you release your stuff, the more people who will buy your shit once it is released. Stop clicking, Oven! I know you're there. I know you're on. Give me 5 minutes. This damn oven is annoying. Anyways. So yeah, I'm excited to get back to writing. The hardest part is just focusing on one thing at a time. I'm so used to jumping around and just, whatever is inspiring me at the moment, focus on that. You know, but I do have a goal that I'm trying to reach. So, book might not be published at all until next year, maybe. I can't guarantee anything at this point. I'm actually entering the first 2 chapters of it into a writing contest. So I'm gonna try to just read through them real quick this weekend, do a few edits, make some adjustments, submit that, and then take some time to maybe start on my first fiction book, my first fictional novel. It's a drama. And also, like I said, still continuing to meet other people, you know, start building relationships, you know, at least try to submit it to some publishers, see if I can get some notice, and if no one wants it, then eventually I will reach a point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing this myself. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of I don't know when or how yet, but it'll happen. And you know, till then, honestly, I've been enjoying my life a lot more. It's weird. Someone actually showed up to work that, someone who used to work there. Someone that I thought was a friend until I got just ghosted. Which, being ghosted is hard enough. But when you're ghosted by someone that you're still seeing every day, just that's a whole nother thing. That's a level like I can't even explain how that feels. Like, just, anyways, it was rough seeing her. I think anger was the emotion I felt more than anything else. Little bit of shock, but mostly anger. But good news is, one, I got a Pokeball, and the real Slim Shady has stood up and declared himself the king of hip-hop once again. So I'm happy about that. Also, a while ago, I saw a guy slip in a puddle, and it was hilarious. And I wonder if he was drunk or if he's just that uncoordinated, because there was barely enough water on the ground for it to even be called a puddle. There was like just enough water for it to qualify as a puddle, and yet he stepped in it and he was just like, whoa, shit! And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Also, there's this crotchety old man in a wheelchair that I think just loves an excuse to yell at people. Because I actually started leaving my house earlier just to avoid bumping into him. Because like, it was reaching a point where like every single day, like I'd be walking down the sidewalk, he starts yelling at me to get out of the way. And like one time, because I was groggy, I was falling behind, I wasn't having a good morning, I end up just leaving on time instead of early, and I bump into him again. But this time, I was like way off to the side. Like, we were on this little section, like a ramp where you go to get into like an apartment place, and like I wasn't even on the sidewalk, I'm up off to the side. And then suddenly I feel a tapping like on my left arm, and I'm like, why the fuck are you all the way up here? Like, you have a straight shot on that sidewalk. I feel like the only reason for you to actually be up here is just to yell at me to get out of the way. That's literally the only reason I can think of why he would have been up that far. You had a clear path. You could have just gone in a straight line. I don't understand why you'd have to come all the way up here. Whatever. Pokeball Go! It came back! Yay!